Peace. What's going on, family? It's your boy Insight, Tilted Brim Records, another edition of the Chop Shop. I've been on one today making videos. Kind of just had a lot of stuff I wanted to get off, so just some things that I'm interested in, and just figured it was time for me to start sharing. I've been getting a lot of people telling me, you should speak, you should do videos. So it's something I've been planning and haven't done, but here I am, y'all. So got some information just to share with y'all, just some things I want to chop up. So what I want to talk about is Jay Morrison and his Tulsa real estate fund. Now, this is a new investment, black owned. I'm always on the lookout for black entrepreneurs who are trying to do things that are 100% black owned and forward thinking, in terms of business. And the brother is starting a real estate fund, and it's basically like a REIT. It's basically like a real estate investment trust, which is they raise capital, raise money, and the people who invest essentially become shareholders, and that money that is raised is used to buy real estate assets, agricultural land, hotels, hospitals, apartments, houses, warehouses, whatever, real estate assets, and those share owners get to share in the revenue to the tune of, on the site I believe it says, about up to an 8% return. The idea is, trying to stop things like gentrification in terms of where black people live, and coming up with an investment vehicle that's supposed to be original, one of its kind, nothing that's been done recently, and 100% black owned. So Jay Morrison, I don't know a great deal about the brother. When I looked him up, I see, of course, he's in the real estate. His title says real estate expert. Seen him on a few large publications, and from what it looks like, he's made a significant amount of money doing real estate. That's what he does. So, he says he's the expert. Makes sense that he would start a fund like this. Now, it's classified as a Regulation A plus Tier 2 crowd fund. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but he says it's the first of its time. But again, for me to keep it simple, I just look at it as a rate, so I could, just get an idea of what's going on. And they're following the trend of this impact movement. So when you look at the website and you try to see, like, well, what's the plan? What kind of assets are you talking about purchasing? It may seem vague because he talks about buying, what they call almost like impact assets. Basically, in this era, people are developing this mindset of making money by doing good, doing good, and you'll get good out of it. So he wants to be able to help black people to own something, by investing in this fund, and, thusly owning shares in all of these different assets and creating some revenue, Now, I don't want to say it's an issue. I want to support like anything black owned. That's just my mentality. I think it's necessary. But the marketing of it, like, it's just my opinion. I don't mean no disrespect. But when I look on like on Instagram and the web and on YouTube, kind of looks like a Beyonce video. The big mansions, and they're touted as the power couple, and the headlines, drug dealer to real estate mogul. If you get caught up in that, for a cat like me who, is really just trying to come up out of my situation, because I'm in a situation. So, it just seemed a little too fanciful in the marketing, like you're trying to like tug on my heartstring, or, my dreams, and me personally, I'm over that, so I go to look. First thing I look for is to see, okay, this sounds cool. I dig it. It's a $500 minimum investment. So what they saying is it's $50 a share, and that $500 will get you 10 shares. And blanked out for a second. And again, you get there's a lockup period a 12-month lockup period before you'll see this 8%, possible return. And yeah, that's how that's gonna go. There's gonna be a lockup period, 12 months, and then after that you start seeing your returns. They pay out dividends, and you get your 8%, plus there's another amount of revenue that the fund generates that they share 50-50 with all the shareholders. So it sounds good, but what I was trying to say is, when I look to see, like, all right, I'm pumped about this, all right, so he's Mr. Real Estate or whatever. I'm like, what assets is he starting out with? And you look and you see that there's no assets. He's just raising capital. I don't want to say it's a flag or a bad thing. It's just, for me, I would have, him being a real estate expert, I was expecting something to already, some kind of asset to already be in the fund, generating some revenue, so these numbers that get thrown out to make you say, oh, okay, I wouldn't have cared what it was, an apartment building, a hotel. He said some very forward-thinking things, assets they were talking about acquiring, land for marijuana farming, crypto mining warehouses for crypto mining. He was talking about buying, what was it, 40 or 60% of a town that was abandoned. I would have liked to have seen something in the portfolio already, and him being into real estate and being an expert, I would even think that maybe he has some assets of his own that he could have, put into the fund. But they're just raising capital right now, which ain't a bad thing. In other words, you just got to kind of wait and see. So this whole thing of it being considered a regulation A+, from my understanding of it, what happened was, in order, before, to be considered an accredited investor, you have to have a net worth of like $1 million or more. So non-accredited investors had non-accredited investors and small business owners and people like that had a limit on how much money they could raise. I think it was like $5 million. But when Obama was in office and passed the Jobs Act of 2012, I believe that's what it is, the Jobs Act of 2012, what that did was allow a small businesses, which were capped at being able to raise $5 million, to bump that up, so now they can raise up to $50 million. So if you look on, say, Jay Morrison's Tulsa real estate fund site, you'll see that it says the maximum investment is $50 million. That's, under that regulation A+ tier 2, standard, I guess, if I'm using the right term. Again, I'm no expert. I'm no real estate expert. I'm no investment expert. I'm just your brother sharing information. Please believe nothing I say. Just take the information and do your own homework. But anyway, like I was saying, I want to promote and support, black-owned endeavors. I think it's important. It's something that we really need, and it sounds real dope. It sounds real dope. Before I talked about Akon and doing his Akon Crypto City, where he already has 2,000 acres. You feel what I'm saying? Already has it, and the coin is about to launch in 2 weeks. A coin, which is going to be the main coin of this smart city that he's, developing. I would have liked to seen something in the Tulsa real estate fund, because personally, for me, I'm small potatoes right now. I ain't got $500, and I don't know too many people who do, and the people that I know who do, they're probably going to be real leery, on that investment. I really think if he had something already in the portfolio, particularly generating revenue, anything, you feel what I'm saying? I think that would have made it more attractive. For more information on it, of course, check out the Tulsa Real Estate Fund site at tulsarealestatefund.com. You could catch Jay Morrison on YouTube and the Jay Morrison Academy. I'll put some links down here, and so you could get his opinion. Watch his interviews with Vlad on Vlad TV, where he talks about the fund. And one brother who I've seen really going deep into the perspectives and the data and really breaking it down, and the brother has a real good grasp on how to dissect data and analyze things, in my opinion. It's a YouTube video called ToneTalks. You might have heard of it. You might have heard him on Dash Radio. Well, he did a video as well kind of reviewing or just giving his take on the Tulsa real estate fund, and I think it was hella informative, and I think you should check it out. Again, I'll put a link at the bottom. And yeah, I just wanted to hip y'all to that. Like I say, I love hearing about, new endeavors from black people that are forward thinking, and I think it's a great idea. It's a great idea. He's on the right path as far as trying to have a social impact. He's on the right path with, stopping all this gentrification going on. I'm from LA. You have no idea how much gentrification is going on in Los Angeles, and we hear about it happening everywhere, and it's been happening. This ain't nothing new, and that's why you got people like him coming out trying to address this issue. Trying to address the issue of gentrification, trying to address the issue of ownership. You know what I'm saying? Things that we really need, which we really lack as a group in this country. So I just want to hip y'all to that, man. Check out Jay Morrison and his Tulsa real estate fund. Really dig into it and see what it's about. And it's already went public, so you can contact them. You can invest right now. Again, $500 minimum. Get you 10 shares. $50 a share. Is there other ways you can invest that 500? Sure. You could get some Sirius stock, which I think is something to look out for. It's been jumping, Sirius and Pandora. You can invest in some cannabis stocks. You can invest in a lot of things. If you're looking at that $50 number, $50 a share. There's a lot of other alternatives, but are they black owned? Are they 100% African owned? Which this is. How important is that to you? Y'all gotta excuse me. It's hot, man. I live in the desert. It's hot. It was one of them 100 plus today. It's hot. But yeah. So that's it, y'all. That's why I wanted to talk about the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And I'm your boy Insight. I hope you find my videos informative. If you got something to say about this, if you got some extra information to add about the fund, because I'm real curious and I'm pretty sure other people are, leave a comment, man. Say what you got to say. Speak your speech. Go on and let us know what you think of the fund, and do you know of any other 100% African American owned or African owned investments that the average brother or sister can get into. Let's use this technology to build. Let's put our minds together and come up with something. Let's build. We ain't gotta be running around these streets doing just shooting ourselves in the foot. Let's do something real. So comment, man. Holla at your boy. And any other topics y'all want to talk about, man, leave a comment. Hit me up at thetiltedbrim@gmail.com. Catch me on Facebook or Instagram. Tilted Brim Records. I'm all over on our social media. And leave me a like if you like it. Leave me a thumbs down if you don't like it. Just react, you know what I mean? Respond. Share this if you think it's informative, if you want to hip somebody else to the information about these funds and whatnot. And keep checking me out, please. I appreciate you watching. It's your boy Insight, the Chop Shop, Tilted Brim Records. I'm out of here, y'all.